Welcome to Ninon Speaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to Ninon Speaks. I'm Ninon, your host, and I've got the wonderful and incredible AJ Dean with me. She is my co-host. She's absolutely amazing. And we have two guests today, but I'm going to allow and let AJ introduce them of who they are and what they're doing. And we had a little technical problems, but you know, everything works out, doesn't it, AJ?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ninon. I do want to let you know, Ninon, that you look absolutely lovely tonight. And I'm so proud of my boss. And I just want to thank you so much for being in my life. You're precious to me. But I do want to introduce our lovely guest tonight as well, JP Nomi Malone. And he is a burlesque performer. He does drag, featuring Liza Minnelli, Reba McEntire, and Cher. He's also an MC and producer and artistic director, and he's been in the movie Kill, Dolly Kill, which is fabulous, and we want to talk to him. Hello and welcome. And we also want to introduce Juan Carlos E. Crisologo, also known as JC. He's a fashion designer, creative director, actor, and comedian. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hello. How are you all doing?
You're both looking amazing, I must say. JC, don't I know you?
Of course, we do know each other, Ninon.
Bible studies, weren't you? JC?
Pardon me?
You were at one of my Bible studies, right?
I used to be connected with social media shows.
Yes, I know, with Maria, right? Marie.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
JP.
Yes.
Good. I've got to go over to JP because JP, am I seeing things like, is this the color of your hair? And is this the color? This looks amazing.
It took hours and hours and hours and a lot of spray paint.
And is it worth it?
Oh my gosh.
It's always worth it.
I feel like
I love it.
Okay, we need to do something with our hair. Look at their hair. They look amazing. Gotta do.
I love it. I love it so much. JP, you're absolutely fabulous. You know, JP, I just want to give a shout out and acknowledge JP. He's an amazing artist. He has so many looks. He does Cher, Reba McEntire, Liza Minnelli, and he can transform into any kind of image or character he wants to. And that's a fabulous and true star. I want to recognize that in you and the true artist in you, JP.
Thank you.
Yes, and also JC, also I want to say hello to you. And you were in Georgette's, you interviewed Georgette, is that right? On your program that you had?
I did. We interviewed Georgette. Yeah, Dania and I on our show called Yin and Yang.
Yin and Yang, I love that. Are you still doing the show? Are you still doing the show, JC?
No, after the COVID shutdown, unfortunately, I kind of had to move on, you know, have a day job and all that. But I kind of placed everything on the back burner.
Yeah, what's your day job?
I'm sorry, you're cutting.
What's your day job?
I'm working at Jimmy.
Okay, we're having a little technical problems, but that's okay. JP, you've been very patient and wonderful. And let me have you. You're a burlesque dancer as well, right? You've done so many things that it's an incredible and amazing. Out of all the things you've done, what's your favorite?
There was a show called Burlesque that I hosted, and each week I got to create something new. So one week it was American Horror Story. So I did the white nun from Asylum with the bleeding black eyes. Or we did Tim Burton, where I dressed like Tim Burton. And I don't know, it was the creativity that we got to do month after month. It was like, what's the theme? Okay, let's create something. So that my creative juices were all about that show.
But it seems like JP that you're very creative anyway. It seems like you seem to be able to create something, you put it together and you make it look amazing. You've been doing this a long time, obviously.
If you can teach a 2-year-old how to dance and look good on stage, you can do anything.
Well, I agree with that. I don't know if 2-year-olds even, talk or walk at that time, but I guess you could make them do that.
It was having to be creative growing up. I was in a dance studio and I would teach dance, and you had to. Teaching the professional students is easy and fun. It's getting the capabilities of the younger students and kind of showing them off and trying to create stuff that was, visually fantastic, and then kind of worked at their level, and it just kind of makes you be creative.
Do you often think that sometimes, well, I'll get back to you, JC, in a second, but JP, do you think
Yes.
sometimes you have to kind of stretch yourself, although you may not think you can do it, but if you stretch yourself to do it, and you suddenly realize, wow, I can do this, and I can move forward, and I can create better than I thought I could?
Always. I thrive on the pressure. I like the, oh my goodness, what do we have to do kind of thing. So it's just, I don't know. That's just what I've always done.
Are you still doing burlesque now, or has burlesque sort of come and gone, and is burlesque still around?
I will always be in the burlesque scene. Right now, I'm in that transition period. I was going to cosmetology school, so I kind of had to get the day job, just like JC over there. And I had a day job and going to school. And then COVID happened, so I'm waiting to get back into school in the next couple of months here, get back on track. And then, the Burlesque Hall of Fame weekend is everything to us burlesquers.
When is that?
It's always in June. I'm not sure what they're doing about it coming up this year, but it's always the beginning of June.
So maybe they'll probably have it all zooming. You'll all be zooming around somewhere, maybe.
Yes, and hopefully Ruby McIntyre will make her debut at the Burlesque Hall of Fame weekend here in the next couple of years is the game plan.
Absolutely. Okay, so JC, you've gone into fashion. What are you creating now in fashion? I love your hair, by the way. I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
My fur? Do you like my fur too?
Yeah, it looks rather cool, doesn't it? What is that? Is that velvet or what is that? It's on.
My jacket is suede and this is raccoon.
We're raccooning it tonight, huh?
Yes, we're raccooning it tonight. Yes.
So what made
you
go into fashion, JC?
Pardon me?
What made you go into fashion? Why are you doing fashion?
I've been in fashion ever since I was a kid, and I've been privileged to grow up in a family that loved art, fashion, and culture. My Jewish aunt in New York and my other relatives from Europe, they fed me so much, art, culture, and sophistication. And I grew up reading a lot of Vogue magazines. And then when, they gave me some money, I used to break the bank by buying really expensive magazines, and they would kill me for it.
Okay, that's okay. So you to have the couture, you like the expensive couture, and is that what you make? I mean, it's like what you're wearing now. How much would that cost to buy it?
Oh, well, the look seems rather expensive, but this thing that's wrapped around my neck right now was actually a gift.
Oh, okay. That's you got good friends.
Yeah. Friends in high places.
Where is your fashion line now? What is the name of your fashion line?
I don't have a specific fashion line right now, but I'm cooking something in my creative lab. The atelier in my mind. I'm constantly creating, and like you said, I love haute couture, and I love Thierry Mugler. Back in the 80s, he was my fashion god. Mugler and Yves Saint Laurent and Karl Lagerfeld, they were my fashion gods.
Do you know David Topaz?
Yes, I've met him in person in our studio. Yeah.
Have you ever been to his studio?
No, not yet. I would love to. I would love to visit his studio.
Has a lot of stuff, a lot of like Audrey Hepburn, Grace Kelly. He has a lot of that look. Beautiful. He puts on the gorgeous fashion shows.
I love it. I really, really love it. Yes.
Did you know David Tupaz when you were here in Vegas?
Yes. I met him at the social media studios when my good friend Bettina interviewed him.
Oh, fabulous. JP,
Mm-hmm.
did you know David Tupaz? You didn't know him. Yes, he was. Well, you're not into fashion more. You're more into creating.
Yeah, the one I know, I know more like the Grant Filippo, and then Max. Oh, I forgot Max's last name. He used to be Siegfried and Roy's costume designers. Made some of my costumes for Lacage and Burlesque. So,
did he ever
Sweet.
make costumes for you?
huh?
Did he ever make anything for you?
Max made the Madonna Jean-Paul Gaultier gold like a virgin outfit from the Blonde Ambition tour. And he also recreated this. Oh my God, it was the most gorgeous thing I've ever worn in my life. It was this completely constructed Western wear jacket Reba McEntire wore to one of the Grammy Awards in the 90s, except she had a ball gown. And he looked at it under the microscope and he went literally, I love this woman, but how tacky. She's only got one layer of jewels and beads. He put different lines. My jacket looked better than hers. He hooked me up.
Competition going on there.
I didn't expect it. I was thoroughly just like in awe and admiration of the man. He was absolutely amazing.
Nicely surprised.
Yes, I didn't expect to have a little one-up on Reba, but very few times.
You used to live in Vegas, JP. Where do you live now?
What?
Where do you live now?
I live in Austin, Texas. I'm a Californicator, one of the Californicators that moved to Austin. So I've been here 3 years.
Do you like it?
All I've been doing is working. I haven't actually gotten to go out anywhere. Once I stop working and actually get to see the sights, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, absolutely. AJ, have you got a question for JC?
Yes, I do, actually. And I did want to just real quickly mention that Georgette Dante loves you both and wants both of you in her burlesque film that's coming up. And I did want to ask JC, I believe he has a film coming up. Is that right, JC? And who do you want to star in it and for it to be about?
Well, I don't have a film coming up yet, but like it's a pipe dream. And I've been writing the script and the screenplays for so many months now, because I dabble into acting and thank God that, when I was with Maria at social media shows, I was able to do comedy and all those things. So it kind of, I was able to stretch my my talent and ability in acting. And anyhow, I was dreaming of creating a movie, about my love for fashion and science fiction and horror and all the drama and, the bitch fest that happened back in Dynasty. And I actually spoke to Ninon about this the last time that we met. I said, I'm dreaming of creating a screenplay with you and Joan Collins in the movie.
I love it. Wow.
Yes. And I don't know if you remember what you told me, Ninon. You told me that you wanted to be, I will only play the role unless I'm the younger sister, you said.
That sounds
yes, you will be the younger sister.
You know why I say that? When I'm in a group of girls or girls around me or my friends, I'm always the oldest one. And I don't like always being the oldest one. So I always tell everyone, make me the young one.
Oh, well, honey, you look beautiful and you're ageless.
Oh, I love
Eternally ageless.
Really are.
from your
Yes.
lips. I love it.
Yes, you have been preserved.
I don't want any stress. I don't want anything to upset me. So I keep a happy face all the time. In fact, funny you should say that. AJ is doing a biography of me. And so there's a lot of that are coming up. And some of them have been rather stressful. In fact, we just went through one that was rather stressful. But
oh, my goodness.
I don't look at it that way. I look at it as part of life, and it's part of living, and it's part of, part of what is created.
And Ninon, you did wonderful. I want to commend you on that, because that was not an easy subject, and everyone will be able to view it later, but you did absolutely phenomenal. And JP, I wanted to ask you, you wanted to mention a book. Is that correct?
Yes, one of our dear burlesque legends just died within the last month. It was Marinka. She was one of the queen of the Amazons. And this is her book that she published herself right before she got out. And you could go to marinkabook.com and get one of these books. Girl, she gives you the tea. If you understand what I'm saying, girl, it's all about the tea right here. She spills her whole entire life from Havana up into burlesque, and what it was like to grow up and be a transgender burlesque entertainer. And
oh, but JP, I want to know, what is the T? I don't know what the T is.
Transgendered.
Huh?
Transgender.
A transgender.
She is a trans, and she spills her tea in the book and gives her whole entire life story. And it is a remarkable story, and how she was protected. And when you were persecuted in those days, and you found a space, people could have been really cruel to her. And you have to read the book to find out all the details. I'm not going to tell.
I think this day and age as well.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, she was going from a man to a woman, right? What do you think about that? I mean, what character? Okay. Stop stumbling, Ninon. What character do you play? You are a man, but you play the character of women.
I'm an entertainer who I was a professional dancer who worked his way into drag, and then I kind of do whatever strikes me. I allow makeup to be my medium, and like I'll do an androgynous club kid. I'll do lacage and boylesque kind of drag. I can do some good old-fashioned comedy drag. And then I also do characters like Uncle Marvin Prevetti, everybody's favorite pervert, with a scotch glass, chest hair, bad mustache, and a 70s hair, greasy hair. You know, it just kind of, wherever the art takes me,
yes,
wherever my creativity takes me is what I want to do.
It seems that you're very comfortable in any part or any place or whomever you play. You seem to you're not afraid of what anyone's going to say out there or do or think, and doesn't bother you at all. And I think that's amazing. I wish more people were like that, and I wish they were more open like that.
Like
you're talking about being fearless, right? And JP, you can talk about that.
Yeah.
It's I think if you're an entertainer, I think this is common ground. We can be fearless on the stage and then suffer that crippling kind of self-doubt and anxiety and depression. It kind of stirs it all in. It helps us create our characters. It helps us get outside of ourselves in a controlled environment. That's how we do. Dancing saved my life.
JC, you're nodding your head and you're kind of agreeing with all this. What's going through your mind? What are you thinking?
I only have love for JP. I only met him in a few minutes, and it seems that he has good vibes, and I love his creative energy. I just love it.
It is.
I would love to collaborate with him one day.
Absolutely.
Do you feel the same way, JC, that you can be open as well and do what you want to do, regardless of whatever it may be?
Absolutely. And the key word was said a while ago, fearless.
Fearless.
It's about being fierce and fabulous at the same time.
And isn't that also about loving yourself, of knowing who you are and what you are, and being able to do what you want to do as whom you are?
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. There was a time that I felt very insecure about myself, and it seemed like all the negative comments about me defined who I am. Mm-hmm. But then when I met that divine savior, I'm not trying to funnel or cram my beliefs down other people's throats.
Oh, sure.
When I saw the light at the end of my dark tunnel is when I started to love myself, and things started to happen and things started to fall in its rightful place. And I got blessed materially after that.
Well, no pun intended.
That only happened after I started loving myself.
Yes, the material came into it since you're a fashion designer, so that's cool. So do you feel very comfortable where you are at the moment? And where are you at the moment?
I'm actually, this is my little boudoir in Chinatown. I know it's very chinois. My environment is very chinois right now.
You're in Vegas still, right?
I'm in Vegas, as my former boss would say, oh, how bohemian.
See, JP, back to you. Do you think it's nice that you just opened up this JC who was sort of, he admired what you said and he felt, so sort of comfortable because you're so very open and you're very, do you think more people with their own characters or whatever that character may be should be more like that?
I find life fascinating. I find human beings fascinating. Whatever you are comfortable with, some people are more comfortable being the quiet ones and being the listeners. Some people are more quiet, jumping off a cliff and just kind of saying, hey, how are you? It's the diversity with everything that I find fascinating. It's the character. I like characters. I like that character study. So it's just kind of everything. There's no right or wrong, good, bad.
There's no limits to what you can say and what you can be. And I think you're for our audience out there, I think you're giving an incredible message out there to feel how comfortable you are, whoever you are, whatever you are, and whatever you do and where you go. And I think you should be very proud of your own self, but also be truthful to yourself. Let yourself know who you are, and don't be afraid out there. Be proud of what's going on and what's happening. Now, JP, do you have anything coming up? Do you have any entertainment things coming up, or you've got this book that you're helping?
I just wanted to spread the love for Marinka. Other than just probably coming back to Vegas on the next Burlesque Hall of Fame weekend, I'm just trying to get through school first, and then I can get back to entertaining and stuff again. So,
how's school doing? Is it doing okay?
I took the pandemic off, and I wish I could say it was more. I was the lazy bum during the pandemic. I haven't done anything.
It shows what to do. It was a time to rest, a time to create, a time to do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter what it was. Doesn't matter. I mean, AJ and I started this show. We both had time, and although I still have all my other shows, we've fit this in and we put it, and it's been very, very successful. And we've been able to have people, a lot of burlesque people, and that's thankful to Georgette. Georgette's been absolutely amazing. I love the woman. She's coming on our show actually next week. Is it next week?
Yes.
She's coming on with Filippo, right?
Yes, Mr. Grant Filippo himself, the legend of burlesque.
Yeah.
I love Grant. Grant knows where some of the old Penny Kerr showgirl costumes that we wore at the end of the show. He knows where all those are at right now, and there's lots of stories about all that. There's always some good stories.
Stories, the old stories of
the old stories.
You see,
I got the privilege of working because I worked at the end of Burlesque, and I got to work at the end of Lacage in Aruba. And entertainers in Aruba were from the original LA Lacage, where it all started. And I got to hear all the different stories. It was amazing.
Los Angeles, did you ever remember Lacage Fall, that Lacage that was on La Cienega?
Yes. I worked with Bobby Etienne and Steph McCall and Ron Raymond and all of those entertainers that were in that show.
I used to go there. I used to love going there because I used to love to talk to them all, and I had so much fun there. Though, I wasn't sort of, part of that, but I was part of it because I enjoyed it so much and I loved it. But we used to go there all the time.
Kenny Kerr, the Silver Slipper, and LA Lacage were like, those were the magical times where the stars came out, and they were smaller stages. They were more, they were the beginning of all of this. And the stories that I heard were just magical and wonderful, and just what it was like. You couldn't get away with that in the 90s.
Oh, that was amazing. JC, what have you got coming up? Anything exciting coming up or happening? Are you you're doing your movie? Are you writing your movie already, or is it just kind of in the head still?
Oh, that's why I bought a tablet, because every time that I get an idea, I just write the scenes down. And right now it seems fragmented. It's not a whole story yet. So every time that I think of a scene, like I write it down over there, and it's going to be loud, amazing, wild, outrageous, something that they've never seen before. A science fiction movie about fashion, and the fashion side will reflect the science fiction side of it, and the science fiction side will reflect the fashion side of it.
But it's funny how you're saying how you're writing your book or writing your movie, because that's exactly how you do write it. It's like AJ and I are doing this biography of me, but it's different parts are coming at different times. But that's how you write it.
Yes.
Together, then you change it all around and make the movie like it's supposed to be. But that's how it starts. So you're doing it the right way, JC.
Yes, and also, I mean, not to give anything away, because I'm still trying to keep everything a secret, from everybody.
But except me being the star.
Yes, except you being the star with Joan Collins and me. I play the adopted son of Joan Collins, and I'll be speaking with my fake British accent.
Okay, well, I can help you. I can teach you the British way to speak, because there's lots of dialects. There's lots of different dialects in the English language, including, it's like everybody says to me, "Oh, you've got an accent." I said, "No, I haven't. You have an accent."
Yes. I can't wait for you to teach me. But anyhow, I'd also like to add that I'm taking a lot of master classes too in film directing and acting and fashion design.
Oh, how
so I took them.
So you two are sort of going back into learning. You're going back into university and learning all these wonderful things. I think you're never too old or never too young to start anything. I believe you're both doing the right thing.
Absolutely. Yes, I'll be taking the master class of Martin Scorsese. I mean, he's one of the greatest, producers and filmmakers.
Yeah.
And then right now I'm also taking the class of Jodie Foster. She's an amazing actress. And I've studied Meryl Streep. I just love the way Meryl acts. Like in every single character that she does is amazing. That woman is a chameleon. I love her.
Well, she's a true actress. I mean, she's taken her.
She is, yes.
Yes.
She is the Hollywood standard.
It's absolutely amazing, absolutely wonderful. Now, what about you, JP? What have you got coming up? Anything exciting, or just doing your
I'm doing the cosmetology. There is a movie I'm waiting to come out. It was Heidi Moore's sequel. It is a trauma film called Deadly Dolly, Kill Dolly Kill. I'm just a little background actor, and I helped out with a couple of scenes here and there. So I don't want to say too much because I could be on the editing floor and I don't even know it. But it is a rock musical. It's a rock opera.
Well, oh, really? Rock opera? How
It is. It was the best experience. It was the craziest thing because one day I'm in a mental asylum, the next day we're in a jail cell, and then the next day some girl's tap dancing on somebody's guts. I mean,
I love it.
It's trauma.
I love it.
Really?
Something simple for the teenagers out there, for the kids.
My God.
For the kids.
How can anybody reach you, JP?
You can reach me on Facebook, JP Nomi Malone, and I believe it's the same thing on Instagram. You can always contact me there. Let me know if you need anything. I'm glad to help somebody out. Choreographer, dancer, MC, drag.
And you do travel?
If the paycheck is right, I'll travel.
Of course. Well, you can't do anything without a paycheck.
Those are those old Vegas rules, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. How can people reach you?
They can reach me through Instagram, JCVALCRIS on Instagram, and also on Facebook. I have a long name on my mother named me after the King of Spain, so I have the name Juan Carlos. Yeah, she was obsessed with Spain, and that's where she took her master's in Madrid. So it's Juan Carlos V. Crisologo. That's right. I have a Greek name. I'm Filipino, but I have a Greek name.
Wow.
It's Crisologo. Sometimes I pronounce it Crazy Logo because I'm crazy. I mean, how could you perform if you're not crazy?
It certainly helps.
I'll make you
Yes.
floss.
Yes. And do comedy. Like, I love doing comedy. I like making a fool out of myself in front of the camera.
That's quite funny. Do you have a joke for us?
I don't really do jokes. I do more situational comedy. Like, I create a scene like that could go completely wrong, you know.
Many of my scenes have gone completely wrong too.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
May all seem it's really not that easy, and we all make mistakes. AJ, what's going on with you, AJ?
Oh, I'm just so thrilled that we have some of the best guests in the world tonight. We have, JP and JC. They look absolutely fabulous, and their energy is so wonderful and creative. And, they're part of our extended family in the burlesque world. Yes. And we just want to extend our honor and respect to them and let them know how much we appreciate them. We've got about 2 minutes and 52 seconds left. And I just wanted to let you know that, Ninon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's sweet. Okay, so JP, are you thinking, or will you ever come back to Las Vegas?
I'm making a personal mission to come back for at least all the Burlesque Hall of Fame weekends.
What is that?
I want to say it's like the first weekend in June always. Okay. I don't know if they're doing it this year or not, but it's just kind of my, and then I have family out there, so I will always be coming to Vegas at some point in time or another.
So you always have somewhere to stay, you're okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now,
I'll go stay with Georgette in her van. I've seen that van.
Oh my gosh, yes. Her van is something else.
Have you seen it as well?
Yes, I've gone inside of it. And I saw a golden pot.
Amazing what she's done.
That is some old school hustle. Nobody hustles like that old entertainer hustle like Georgette has mastered. She doesn't stop. She doesn't quit. It's always on to the next gig. What's next? What do we got to do? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
What's next with Georgette? Georgette wants to do this movie. So, and all of you are going to be in the movie. I don't know if she's going to get me in the movie somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I can be doing something. I don't know. Maybe I can be her hairdresser or something. I don't know. Find something for me. I don't know. But anyway, she's going to use both of you in her movie, and there's a lot of people she wants to put into her movie, and especially with the with all the burlesque, and of course, burlesque sort of, as I said, was talking about it this morning, burlesque and the circus, because her family were in the circus business, and I believe they had their own. AJ, did they have their own circus?
Yes, Georgette was born into the circus and from a very early age, and that's how come she's a consummate professional and a go-getter. She's got a constant, beautiful drive. Her ethics are very high standards, and yes, that's where she gets it from.
That's where she gets all that sort of energy from, and she never stops, which is amazing. So she has quite a history. So is she going to do? Is the movie going to be about burlesque, or is it going to be about her, about the biography? Do you know anything like that, AJ?
Yes, it's going to be about burlesque, and that's why she wants both JC and JP in it to be featured as actors, and she wants JP as the hairstylist as well as an actor and an entertainment director, and also JC as the fashion designer and an actor as well. So I think it's just going to be absolutely fabulous. And